Usually, there will be some tasks in your project that needs to be automated and performed regularly without manual intervention, like sending a weekly report to our members of how many classes they attended and approximately how many calories they burned, or a friendly reminder at the end of each day to those members who haven't booked a class for the next day. In certain apps, you may want to delete trash records occasionally and so on. In the past, you may have used cron jobs for every such task that needs to be performed regularly, but it becomes a pain to manage tasks that way because you have to log into your server and schedule a task using cron jobs. Thanks to Laravel's scheduler, you can define your command schedule within your application itself. Let me show you. Go to kernel.php within app console, and you can see an example right here. If you uncomment this, the command inspire can be scheduled to run hourly. That is, this command runs every single hour. Now let's create a command to fetch all the members who haven't booked any class and send a mail to all of them at the end of each day. In this process, we not only learn task scheduling, we'll also revise most of the concepts we learned in the previous few videos. So first, create a custom command, sail artisan, make command. Let me call this remind members. Open this and let the signature be the same. I'll change the command description to remind members to book a class. And in the handle method, let's first fetch all the members with no upcoming bookings, right? So members equals user, where role is member. So first we need to get only those users, role as member, where doesn't have bookings. You remember we used this query constraint where doesn't have bookings. We queried the non-existence of the absence of this relationship bookings, and we need to constrain it to only future bookings. So say function query, and here, let me put this in the next line, and here let's just say query where date time is greater than now. And then we can get them. But here we only need an email and the name of the user. So let's select name, email, and get only two columns. To verify if we've got the correct set of users, let's output this user data to the terminal. Remember, this is a command, right? So to output data to the terminal, you can say this info, use the info method, or you can use the arrow method, line, and so on. You can also use a table method to display data something like this in a table format. The first argument will be the column titles like name and email, and then comes the data. So members, and we need to convert this to array. Okay, let's try this out. Sail artisan app remind members. That's the command. Let's see. User not found. Why do I keep forgetting to import the classes? Okay, let's try again. Clear app remind members. Perfect. We have almost all the members who haven't booked a class, but I don't know if this is correct. Yes, so far only Shruti, that is myself, I'm the only one who has booked a class. So here we will see all the 11 members. This data is correct. Now let's send a mail to all these users using notification. So create a notification, sail artisan, make notification, and let me call it remind members notification. Open this. Down here, add a subject. The subject could simply be forgot to book a class. And then we could add a greeting and say, hey, notifiable name, and we can say looks like you don't have any upcoming bookings, and we can say book now. This could be the action, and the same URL member/book, and at the end we can say something like stay healthy or something. Okay, now back to the command and remove this output. Instead of sending the output to the console, we will send the notification using the facade. Let me import this. Yes, notification is already imported. Great. Send to members, new remind members notification. Okay, let's test this out. Go to the console and run the command again. No output, no errors, which means it must have worked. Let me check localhost 8025 it is, and yes, we have received 11 emails. Forgot to book a class. Looks like you don't have any upcoming bookings. Great. Now we executed this command manually. We don't want that. We want to schedule it so that this mail is automatically sent at the end of each day. Right. So open kernel.php, remove this, and instead say schedule command. Use the command which is app remind members. And when we want to send it daily at a specific time. So you can say something like daily at 8 p.m., which would be 20 hours. Okay, and if you've set the time zone of your app correctly, this would send at 8 o'clock your time zone. Now we can schedule as many such tasks here of any frequency, like every hour, every day, or every 3 days, monthly, and so on. And then on the server, you only need to add a single cron entry that runs every minute. You can check the documentation for that, and then it'll schedule all the tasks that you've listed in the kernel.php. But how do we test this in development? To run the scheduler locally, use the command sail artisan schedule work. This keeps running in the background, but we can't wait till 8 p.m. today for this to run. So let's change the time for something immediately. Right now, the time is 1:15 p.m. So I'll change this to 13:16 so that I receive this the very next minute. Now let's wait and see. Great, it's 1:16 here, and you saw that the command got executed. Seems to be done. Let's once again check Mailbit, and yeah, we have received even more emails. So you have scheduled successfully your first task with Laravel.